Paradiso, Cafe Paradiso, or otherwise known as Tom's Cafe, because it's run by the magnificent Master Tom, Major Tom.
Major Tom.
And I have an art show here called the Artful Science. So come on in and I'll show you the paintings, or the digital tweakings. There's a whole bunch of different kind of mixed media pieces, and I worked with some other artists. I'll tell you about it as we go along. This one is one of our local buffalo, or bovids. So I call this Bovid 19. And this one's called Yellow Umbrellas. And this is actually a painting that's on the wall of this cafe, but I took it and tweaked it and kaleidoscopized it. And this one here is called Double Mask, and it's a collaboration with the artist Arbi Dharma out of Catalonia. And so I took one of their images and tweaked it. This one's called Trismegistus, and it's got a bunch of these faces in the background, which are part of a sculpture that's in Victoria Park in St. John's, Newfoundland. And this one here is called Mask Montage, and it's another Arbi Dharma. And this relates to another one that's right behind you, but we'll do that on the way out. We're going to kind of just go in around. This is a haunted tree, and this is a tree that I thought was kind of cool growing up in Buckmaster Circle, which is a neighborhood in St. John's, Newfoundland. And this one here is a totem. This is an image of bricks that were brought out of the sidewalk and basically set up in the middle of the road during the Hong Kong occupation protests. And over here we've got the Sator Repotimet Opera Rotas Square, which is a really powerful magical seal that it's been part of my practice for decades. But of course now there's this movie Tenet that's out that's really, really awesome. So this is a sort of entering the popular consciousness, but Tenet means it holds. So I like this. This is in the power position of the gallery. But underneath it here is the gumdrop, which is really just eye candy. And it looks better from afar. But yeah. And this one's Spirit Arrow. This is a painting that I did that's got just some digital tweaks. Over here we have the snake table. This is my little buddy Quasimodo, my little friend who's on a table that I painted and tweaked. Arbi Dharma and I collaborated on this one. I call it Cat Priestess. This one is Spirit Bird. It is part of my tarot mythos, personal, personal spirituality. But it's a tarot card. It's the aeons, the 20th tarot trump. This one's called Chinese Restaurant because it's a photograph of a Chinese restaurant. And this one is called Pulsating Egg. This is actually a picture of my cat and a flag and a work of art, a tarot card that I did, and then I just tweaked it all up. This is called Rosette. Again, it's a tarot card I did for the this is the 10 of Cups that was put in the the Button Soup Tarot. So the button, which was produced out of the Cult of Tarot forums, and I made 2 cards for their deck, and this is one of them, but I then tweaked it, and this is called Rosette. This is Fionne's Window, Finn McCool's Olgum seal, and this is actually really, really, really deep. This is the 20 plus 5 letters of the Druidic alphabet, and this is a meditation sigil. This one's called illegal graffiti, and to be honest, it means, it's kind of, I like the textures and stuff, but it's just basically eye candy. This one is called Mammal, and this was the collaboration with Celia Blue and Blue Soul Magic, and she's a fantastic artist out of Spain, but she used to live here, and we did this as an exquisite corpse, which is that game where you it's a surrealist game where one person draws part of one piece, and you pass it on, and you just figure out what happens. Artful Science is, of course, the name of the exhibition, and this was a gallery show in the airport in Ottawa, and I took a picture of it. And it was called, their show was called Artful Science, but mine is called The Artful Science. But I took a photograph of their art exhibition, and I made art with it. So that's the message. Everything can be telescoped and compressed and fractally composed infinitely. The twin star is really important. It's a mystical diagram. It's a type of magic number system, and this is a part of my spiritual practice. This is Secret Serpent. I did this when I was young. This is from 1998, but then I took the image, and it took me like months and months and months to do this with stippling, because I was that kind of patient when I was young. And then, I superimposed this on top of a forest road near Bristol. And we're going up to this watchtower. So it's called Secret Serpent to the Watchtower. And this one, incidentally, is called Twin Star Bridge. And this is the Wakefield Bridge. I think it's between Wakefield and La Pêche. And it's a covered bridge, and it's really, really, really cool. So that's the twin star imposed on that. Over here we have Suspended Meditator, who is the hangman. There's two versions of the hangman. It's the drawing that I did and a painting that I did, and then they're superimposed on one another. And here is Triune, which is an Abhidharma collaboration, which has another image from 1998 that I did that took me months and months and months, called Atomic Evening in the Garden of Eden, and then I tweaked it and put it there. Icon is the sister or brother of Totem, so you can show both of those. Yeah, so these are kind of connected. And Sigillic Orb is a collage that I did with a sigil on it. Serpent sigil, again, this is Quasimodo, and there's a sigil. And this is Tom. This is called Platypus, because it's a little comic relief. And this is the Moon Ghost, which is a kind of a liminal being that made itself present to me at one point. And this is the Polished Wheels. This is the Wheel of Fortune tarot theme, but I used some filters and I made it interesting. Sunken Buttons is some spools that were, they may have been under the water or maybe not. This is something in Newfoundland that I saw that I thought was interesting, and I played with it. This is a sigil that I made. This is a collaboration with Abhidharma called MetaMask, and I really like it. It's one small part of one of their huge drawings that's just covered in wild stuff. I mean, their stuff is fantastic. But I sort of extracted this one image out of a larger one and played with it. The Low Shoe Square, which is the first of the magic squares. It's a unique arrangement of the numbers between 1 and 9 in the square that's 3 by 3, and it always totals 15, and it's very, very ancient. And the legend goes that the yellow emperor saw it on the back of a tortoise that rose from the sea, and so this is what the I Ching is grounded on, and many other things. It's fundamental. And the threshold guardian, who's another liminal spirit, this kind of fierce, shamanic, powerful dude, and he's at the threshold because he chases away negative energy. So it's one of those examples of fighting fire with fire. He's a terrifying being, but that's how we keep the threshold clear, and so he's guarding it, and that's it. And here we are back in the world of Cafe Paradiso. Yeah, that's it. Rock and roll. And you can, if you're in Hong Kong, of course, you can come and drink coffee here and enjoy the company of awesome people, and you can look at my art. And if you're not in Hong Kong and you like the art and you want to buy a print, then just DM me or something, we'll work something out. But yeah, this is Artful Science, and I'm Peter de Schumann, Dr. Abraxas.